Slow living is a way of life that is about letting go. Letting go of expectations and things that are not important, and focusing on the things that are.
I burned out like a wandering ember. I shone bright, then my journey was over. What I sought when I ran was back where I began. No matter the rain, no matter the storm, I'm coming home. I'm coming home. Leave open the gate, don't turn off the light, I'm coming home.
So for those of you that have been following us along on our journey, you'll know that I had to look after all the solar and the wind turbine and the generator power for 3 nights while Paul went back to Brisbane for work, and I survived. But someone is super excited to see Paul come home.
In the end, what I found was nowhere near as nice. No matter the rain, no matter the storm, I'm coming home. I'm coming home. Leave open the gate, don't turn off the light, I'm coming home.
So if you're new here, our family bought 140 acres off the grid in Australia almost 2 years ago now, and we're transitioning to this kind of life. Eli and Paul went back out to harvest some more firewood, and then they had to split it all up.
There be no kind of peace like you beside me. No matter the rain, no matter the storm, I'm coming home. I'm coming home. Leave open the gate, don't turn off the light, I'm coming home. I'm coming home. Nothing's at
And Paul bought us some Easter treats at the bakery in town. And then Paul and I took a quick trip through Texas. Texas in Queensland, that is, not America. And along the way we spotted all these emus. So emus are flightless birds of Australia, and they're the second largest living bird. They can grow to 5 feet tall and they can weigh more than 45 kilos. And they're also some kind of distant relative to the cassowaries. And emus can run as fast as about 50 kilometres per hour or 30 miles per hour. And that's why the Australian song is about running the pants of a kangaroo. We used to have 4 subspecies of emu. We had one that was living in Tasmania, but that subspecies is now extinct. And baby emus actually stay with their father for the first 6 months. I used to see emus all the time as a kid, but now we hardly ever see them. There's nothing like a long road trip through the Australian wilderness to make you feel like you're more free. And not a single cloud in the sky. Emu farming is becoming a little bit more popular these days, with people farming them for meat or their feathers or their leather or their oil. Texas sits on Bigambul land, the indigenous people of the region who inhabited the area for thousands of years prior to colonisation in the 1840s. So apparently Texas was settled in 1842 and was named after the largest nearby landholding in the area, known as Texas Station. And later on, a lot of tobacco farming was done here, and there was a lot of Italian families that settled in the area to run and work the tobacco farms. They also had a lot of Chinese people working and growing the tobacco because they were quite experienced in doing that. In these days, Texas has a population of about 843 people. There is also a silver mine nearby. This one seems to be particularly friendly. A few Australian country artists have also written and recorded songs about Texas as well. Paul and I often spend long nights talking into the evening about our hopes and dreams for the future and what we want to make of this place, the projects that are ahead of us, and what we would like to see done next. But staying up late and talking doesn't get things done, so time to go to bed. Tomorrow's project is getting the gutter guard on the shed done. So we're camping in and around our shed here at the moment, and this is what the gutter looks like before we pressure wash it and put the gutter guard on. You can see that it's had quite a lot of muddy slush in there, but Paul's already got the leaves and sticks and everything out. And this is what it looks like after pressure washing it.
What you think, and I know it's hard.
And now Paul's putting the gutter guard on the gutters.
Hello.
But we'll make it through, and I'll back you up. Wherever you're going, I'm going to. I'll follow you through the black and the blue. Whatever the mountain will come to.
And Eli's down there helping to prepare the gutter guard for Paul before he puts it on.
And to that.
And so this is what the final product looked like. Hopefully it will keep out all the leaves and sticks and a bit of dirt and that sort of thing, but we're also hoping it'll stop any rats and mice being able to crawl along in there. So while they're doing all this work outside, I'm just preparing some silverbeet and ricotta rolls for lunch. So I've just got some beautiful rainbow silverbeet here, and I'm just cutting that up into little bits. And I'm just popping that into a pan. I'm just going to wilt this silverbeet a little bit with some garlic. So I'm just basically steaming or stir frying this silverbeet and garlic for a little bit until it wilts down a bit. I basically only did it for a few minutes. And now I'm just dicing up a brown onion and just frying that up in a bit of butter or oil just until it's translucent and it starts to caramelize a little bit. And now I've got some dill, I'll just finely chop that up as well, and some green onions or some spring onions, and just chopping those up into little bits. It doesn't really matter how you cut them, it's all going to just mix in together. And then I'm just putting them all together in a bowl to mix them up together with a big dollop of ricotta. I think it was about 250 grams. And then just mixing it all in together evenly. I can't wait until we can grow all of these vegetables and things ourselves. And a bit of salt and pepper. And I've got my puff pastry sheets, and shame, no, I didn't make them myself. I didn't have enough time. I went to the store and got them. And I'm adding a couple of eggs to our mix. And I also added some lemon zest and nutmeg as well. And so I'm just cutting my puff pastry sheets in half. And then I just spoon in the mixture and roll them up. I just make sure the puff pastry meets at the end there and sticks together, because you want the seam to be on the bottom in the pan when you put it in the oven, or I'll put mine in the barbecue to bake. And speaking of the barbecue, we're actually going to use the gutter guard to put onto the barbecue to make sure the mice can't get into that either. The mice plague in Australia is just such a huge problem at the moment. I'm hearing it from everyone. So I'm just going to cut these rolls in half. And then I'll put them in a lightly greased pan, or baking tray maybe I should say. So I'm just mixing up an egg so that I can just wash that over the top of the rolls so they'll crisp up nicely. And I also sprinkled some sesame seeds and thyme over the top of the rolls as well. And this is how they turned out. How beautiful do they look? And they were a big hit in our family. I served it with some of the sweet chili sauce that I made a few weeks back. So good. And so here's a kangaroo just staring at us and stalking us like a psycho. So to me, slow living is also about caring more. Caring about the earth, caring about others, and caring for animals. Slow living provides an opportunity for us to appreciate the present moment and put our values at the heart of our lifestyle. So thanks for watching, and chat to you next time.